In this video, I will provide solution of Mathematics Chapter 6 from Canadian Curriculum Grade 3. Basically, we provide coaching from nursery to 12th level and for all Indian competitions. We are running a coaching center in the name of St. Peter's Coaching. We not only provide group coaching, but also we provide one-to-one online tuitions for maths, science, English, and mental ability. To know more about our channel and to see our videos, please subscribe our channel https://youtube.com/@St. Peters Coaching. Well, this is chapter 6. And in this chapter, we will discuss length and distance. Estimate, measure, and record length, height, and distance using standard units such as centimeter, meter, and kilometer. Choose the most appropriate standard unit to measure length, height, and distance. Compare and order objects using attributes measured in centimeter and meters. So they are asking, choose the best units to do the measurement. Write kilometer, meter, or centimeter in the circles. So these are the circles. In these circles, we have to use these units for measuring the object which is given in the scene. So basically, this is a house and this is a ground. So it cannot be measured in kilometer or centimeter. So the correct unit for measuring this kind of area is meter. So M will be inserted in this circle, and this is a scene of a road. So road can be measured in kilometers. Therefore, we will use km in this circle. So this is a hexa. So it is around some centimeters, maybe 1 feet and 2 feet. So 1 feet is equal to 30 centimeter. And if it is more than 1 feet, maybe maximum 2 feet, so it will be 60 centimeters. So it should be measured in centimeter. This is a van. So van can be measured in meters because it will be more than 4 or 5 meters. So we should use meter to measure its length. And this is map of the world. So the distance between two continents can be measured only in kilometer. This is the width of a TV, which can be measured in centimeter. The length of a ball of yarn is about 36 centimeter. The thickness of a book is about 3 centimeter. The distance between Toronto and New York is about 550 kilometer. Uncle Tim is shorter than 2 meter. Lucy found an earthworm in her backyard. It was about 12 centimeter. So this is a scale. So when we measure something by a scale, we have to fix the zero of the scale with the beginning of the item which we are measuring. So as you see, it is around 10 centimeter. These marks are centimeter marks and these are inch marks, right? So from this side, when we see, these are inch marks, and from this side, these are centimeter marks. So this is 0, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 5 centimeter, 6 centimeter, 7 centimeter, 8 centimeter, 9 centimeter, 10 centimeter. And it is around 10.2 centimeter. So this is line B. So we have to give the estimated length of the line. So I have measured it accurately. So this is 10.2 centimeter. I will show you by closing up the scale. You can see in a better way. So these are the marks. This is 10 centimeter mark, and this one line is zero point 0.1. This is zero point 0.2. So this is 10.2 because this is in front of the second mark after 10. So that's why it is 10.2. Well, now I am measuring line A. So this is 0 and this is the beginning of the line and this is the ending of the line. So this is 11, 11.5, and it is slightly forward than the half line. So now I can write it as 11.6 centimeter. I'll show you the closer view. So this is 11.5 and this is 11.6. So this mark is 11.6, right? Well, now I'm measuring C line. This is C. This is C line. So this is the zero of the scale. I have fixed it with the beginning of the line. This is the end of the line. So this is 7.567. So this is 7.7 centimeter. Well, this is line D. So I have fixed 0 to the beginning of the line. So this is the beginning and this is the end of the line. So this is 9.5 and this is 9.6. 9.6 centimeter. So we had to take two type of measurements, estimated and actual. but I have taken the actual measurements. So when you try your exercise, you just um, estimate the length of the line and then you actually measure with a scale in your book. So you will find the same length which I have mentioned here. A is 11.6 centimeter, B is 10.2 centimeter, C is 7.7 centimeter, and D is 9.6 centimeter. Right? Now they say measure and record the length or height of each thing. Then draw and record the measurement of each item. So first of all, we are measuring this pin. So this is 5.1. So this is the zero of the scale and this is the end point of the pin. So this is 5.1. I will just enlarge it to show you. Now you can observe the minor scale. So this is just at the 5.1 mark, right? And this is the zero. So we have set zero to this place, the edge of this pin, and this point with this end point of the pin. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5.1. So the length is 5.1 centimeter. Now they say draw a pencil that is 2 centimeter longer than the nail. 2 centimeter longer than the nail. That means it should be so 5.1 plus 2 centimeter is equal to 7.1. So I have drawn these two lines of 7.1 centimeter. So I will draw the pencil between these two lines. So 7.1 centimeter long. So that's the way we can draw pencil with the accurate measurement. Now we have to measure the height of these doors, this one and this one. So this is zero of the scale and this is the end point of the door. So this is 3.5, about 3.5 centimeter. Now we'll measure this door. So this is the zero of the scale and this is the height of the door. So it is just pointing at 5.1. So this is 5.1 centimeter high. Now they say Draw a tree that is taller than A but shorter than B. So we have to draw a tree. That means that should be more than 3.1. So the smaller door was 3.5. So we have to draw a tree between these heights, greater than 3.5 and less than 5.1. Of the tree. Now it is all right. It is now around 4 centimeter. So this is greater than this one and shorter than this one. This is 4 centimeter. Now we have to measure the length and each line in centimeter. Measure and record the length of each line in centimeter. So first of all, we are measuring the line A. So this is the beginning and this is the end, that is 10 centimeter. So this is 10 centimeter. So this is line B. So it is starting from here and this is the, I will just enlarge. So this is 8, 1, 2. So this is 8.2. 8.2 centimeter, right? This is 8.2. Now we'll measure the third line. So this is the beginning of the line and this is the end of the line. This is in this line. That means up to 11 centimeter. 11 centimeter. This one, right? So this is 0 to 11. That means the length of this line is 11 centimeter. Now they say, look at the diagram, find the length of the roots, then draw lines on the diagram and answer the questions. So they have given this grid to measure the length and direction, and horizontal and vertical length of this box is supposed to be 5 meter. I have fixed the scale 1 inch is equal to 5 meter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this means 9 5 the 45 meter. Now I will shift the scale to leftwards to the door of Green's house. Well, now it is fixed. So this is more than 12. So this is 12 inch and 1 inch is equal to 5 meter. So this is just 12 and a half inch. So roughly we can say 12 inch. So 12 inch is equal to 12 into 5 is equal to 60 meter. But there is some gap, say around half inch. So you can say it will be around 62 to 63 meter. Roughly you can say that. So we can write the direct distance between their houses is 62 meter, because this is 12, more than 12 inch, and 12 inch is equal to 12 by the 60. So this is 62 meter. From Green's house to Mrs. Smith's house, this is Mrs. Smith's house. Now I will fix the scale between them. Well, as you see, it is also 12 inch. So from Green's house to Mrs. Smith's house is also 12 inch. So we can say this is 12 by the 60 meter. So you can write here 60 meter. Now they are asking from Sora's house to Smith's house. That means between these two houses. That I will fix now. So now I have fixed the scale between Sora's house and Mrs. Smith's house. So this is Mrs. Smith's house. So distance between them is 5 inch. This is 5 inch. So 5 inch means 5 into 5. That is 25 meter. So this is 25 meter. So these are the distances. Let me remove the scale now. So from Mrs. Green's house to Mrs. Sora's house, 62 meter. From Mrs. Green's house to Mrs. Smith's house, 60 meter. And from Mrs. Sora's house to Mrs. Smith's house is 25 meter. So these are the distances according to my scale. Now I will go according to the question. So they say, look at the diagram, find the lengths of the roots, then draw lines on the diagram and answer the questions. So first of all, I will draw the roots. So this is the first root. So this is the route for Mrs. Green's house to Mrs. Sora's house. And the scale is 5 meter for the length of each square. That means the length of this route will be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. So this is 65. That means from Mrs. Green's house to Mrs. Sora's house is 65, according to the question of the book. Now I will draw the route from Mrs. Green's house to Mrs. Smith's house. This is the route So this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. So this is 65. From Green's house to Mrs. Smith's house. This is 65. Now we have to find the third root. So from Mrs. Sora's house to Mrs. Smith's house. So this is Mrs. Sora's house. So Mrs. Sora's house to Mrs. Smith's house. So Mrs. Sora's house to Mrs. Smith's house. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So this is 50, 50 meter. So these are the distances asked by the question A, B, C. Now they say use a red pen to draw a new route on the diagram to show Mrs. Green the shortest route she can take from her house to Mrs. Sora's house. So this will be the shortest route. That is straight from here to here. That means 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. This will be equal to 45 meter. So the length of the route is 45 meters. Well, next question is use a green pen to draw a new route on the diagram to show Mrs. Smith the shortest route she can take from her house to Mrs. Sora's house. So this is Mrs. Smith's house. So from here to Mrs. Sora's house, the shortest distance. So first go to this place, then this one. So it is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The length of the route is 30 meter. Now this is the last question. They say, I want to visit the lady that lives closest to me. Who am I going to visit? And who says that? Emily. So first of all, find where is Emily. Well, Emily is here. So if she goes to Mrs. Green, the route will be this one, then this one, and this one. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And if she goes to Mrs. Sora's house, so this will be the route 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And to Mrs. Smith, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So these both are the shortest distances. So she can go either to Mrs. Sora's house or Mrs. Smith's house because both their distances are 25 meters from her house. Mrs. Sora or Mrs. Smith.